It began with a phone call, one that still chills investigators to this day. On a cold night in May 2010, a young woman named Shannon Gilbert ran through a quiet Long Island neighborhood, calling 911 and screaming, "They're trying to kill me." Moments later, she vanished into the darkness near Gilgo Beach. What no one knew then was that her disappearance would uncover one of the most horrifying mysteries in modern American history, a secret buried beneath the sand for years. 13 victims, a decade of silence, and a suspect no one ever expected. This is the story of the Gilgo Beach serial killer, a man who hid behind an ordinary life while committing unspeakable crimes. When police began searching for Shannon Gilbert, they weren't expecting to find anything more than a missing person. But in December 2010, as officers combed through the thick brush near Ocean Parkway, they stumbled upon something far worse, a human body wrapped in burlap. Within days, 3 more sets of remains were found in the same area. 4 women, all young, all missing, all with strikingly similar backgrounds. They were later identified as Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello. All had been sex workers who advertised their services online. Investigators realized they were facing something dark, a serial killer operating right under their noses. The discovery shocked the nation. Gilgo Beach, once a peaceful coastal stretch known for vacation homes and fishing, had become the hunting ground of a predator. As police widened their search, they uncovered even more remains, some belonging to other women, a toddler, and even a man. In total, between 10 and 13 victims were linked to the same desolate area of Long Island. Media dubbed the unknown culprit the Long Island serial killer, or LISK, and the case grew into one of the biggest mysteries in American true crime history. But despite massive media attention, FBI involvement, and endless tips, the killer seemed to have vanished. Years went by, leads went cold, families were left with grief and no answers. Then, technology gave detectives the breakthrough they had been waiting for. In 2022, investigators began reanalyzing cell tower data from the original case. They found that the killer had used burner phones to contact victims, but those phones always pinged from the same area, Massapequa Park, Long Island. The location was key. It matched the neighborhood of a man named Rex Heuermann, a local architect who lived just miles from Gilgo Beach. He seemed like an average suburban dad, married, 2 kids, steady career, a quiet reputation. But beneath that normal life, police would uncover a chilling double existence. As detectives dug deeper, they linked Heuermann to disturbing online behavior and meticulous patterns of contact with his victims. Then came the smoking gun, DNA evidence. Investigators collected a pizza box Heuermann had thrown away outside his Manhattan office. On that pizza crust was a trace of DNA that matched a strand of hair found on one of the Gilgo Beach victims. It was the final piece of a puzzle that had haunted police for 13 years. In July 2023, Rex Heuermann was arrested and charged with the murders of Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello. Later, he was charged with a 4th murder, that of Karen Vergata, who disappeared in 1996. The arrest shocked everyone who knew him. Neighbors described him as quiet, polite, and professional. But inside his home, police found over 300 firearms, disturbing internet searches, and evidence linking him to the killings. Even more chilling, investigators discovered that during the times the murders occurred, Heuermann's wife and children were out of town, giving him the perfect window to commit his crimes. The seemingly harmless architect had lived a terrifying double life, family man by day, predator by night. As of 2025, Heuermann's trial is still underway. He maintains his innocence, but prosecutors continue to uncover new evidence, including digital data, phone records, and forensic traces. The case remains under investigation, with authorities suspecting there could be more victims yet to be identified. Even now, the story of the Gilgo Beach murders remains both terrifying and tragic, a reminder of how evil can hide behind the most ordinary faces. What makes this case even more haunting is how it began, with Shannon Gilbert's 911 call. Her body was eventually found near a marsh, a year after the first discoveries. Police ruled her death accidental, claiming she drowned while running in fear. But her family and many others still believe she was one of the killer's victims, the one who nearly escaped and accidentally exposed the entire case. Whether that's true or not, it's undeniable that her disappearance led to the discovery of every other victim. Without Shannon, the Gilgo Beach murders might have remained buried forever. Today, the Gilgo Beach serial killer case stands as a chilling reminder that monsters don't always hide in the dark. Sometimes, they live right next door. The story of Rex Heuermann is one of deceit, patience, and horror wrapped in normality. He attended PTA meetings, went to work every day, and smiled at his neighbors, all while allegedly committing some of the most horrific crimes in New York's history. It's the kind of case that reminds us how the line between normal and nightmarish can be thinner than we ever imagined. If you found this story fascinating, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime stories that uncover the darkest corners of human nature. Because in the end, it's not just the crimes that shock us, but the realization that they can happen anywhere, even in the most peaceful places.